Never been a massive fan of Akhmadaliev, but he really did impress me.
No, but he's a unit. He's powerful.
Uzbek power beats Japanese power.
We'll find out. I doubt
We
it.
will never, ever find out.
Jaime Munguia and Bruno Surace.
The disgust.
This was a punch from nowhere.
Your turn to hit, my turn to hit, your turn to hit. It was a stupid tactic.
Well, up to that point, too, I had Munguia winning. Welcome to Boxcast. In this episode, we're going to review the fights that have been over the last few weekends. And we'll start with the Cruiserweight clash between Rozicki and Peralta. Difficult to watch this one. And I haven't seen it yet. But...
if anyone has any
can
links,
you point us, please?
because I have searched everywhere for the fight highlights and
I've looked into it, and they're saying the Three Lines Productions, which I think is his like whatever company that manage him or whatever, are supposed to be putting on YouTube in the next few days. So obviously, once that's there, we'll have a look at it and we'll review the fight as a standalone. But at the moment, we'll go on what highlights we've seen. So. From what we've seen and heard, it's an epic fight again. The result was a majority draw, but it seems to be most people are in agreement that Rozicki won. It started well for Peralta, I think, the first few rounds, and then from about round 6 onwards, it's gone.
yeah,
Rozicki's turned it, and realistically, they're saying he should be the champion.
Yeah,
now.
I think after the first fight was. The decision was overturned, wasn't it, or something?
Well, they can't overturn a decision, but because I think even Rozicki's side admitted that,
he didn't win.
This is a close fight. It could go either way, but it shouldn't be.
But from what I've read and
but
things.
well, it's supposed to be for the interim title or the title contest. I think it was the interim then. So they pulled the title, and then they're hoping they're going to do the same. Watching the press conference in this. So they can't change the result, but they're saying Rozicki should be the champion. But yeah, go on.
It's all very confusing, isn't it?
It's quite complicated because they can't, no matter what they do, they can't overturn a result.
I think Rozicki moves on from this now.
Yeah, well, I think it was like most of the scorecards were like 117, 100, about like 5 rounds in his advantage or 4 rounds in his advantage. That's what they were sort of saying, that every round from about rounds, even the WBC guy.
For the first fight or the second?
Second.
How can it be when it was a draw?
No, but the actual, what it should have been. I mean, the scorecards were...
Right. What you think it should have been?
What it should have been. And not just what I think. I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen the fight.
Okay.
But the scorecards here were 115, 113, 114, 114, 114, 114, so it's a majority draw. I think the 115, 113 was to Rozicki. But the WBC guy was sat there, and obviously the Rozicki's people, I think like his manager and whatever, and they were like, yeah, look, it was like this. Peralta was winning up to about 5. It was probably like 3-2, whatever it is. And then basically every other round, Rozicki's won, and it should have been like a 10-8 in the 11th or 10th or 11th, where he had him down, although they didn't count it. But he goes, even irrespective of that, it's like one, should have been like 116, 112, or 17, 1, whatever that works out to 111, 112 with like a 10-8 round. The WBC guy said that's what he scored as well. So basically, like, I think it was like...
Yeah, that's whether they might push Rozicki to full champion because there's things going on with the other champion, isn't there?
Well, there's Michaelian in it. No, yeah. Michaelian is the champion, but I think he's turned this fight down with Rozicki about 4 times, 3 times or something. Is he going through
like a lawsuit or something? I did something
going on.
You
mentioned something last time, isn't it? So there's something going on with him.
So they might give Rozicki the full title.
Well, that's why this was supposed to be the full title one. And that's why they're saying it's a bit like he should get done. So they're saying it should be given.
If it goes to full title, Rozicki's got massive fights next. because it'll be Opataya,
Zerdo.
you know, they're the three champs.
Well, I think somebody in our comments put that they should have, I think him and Opataya, what's the other they should basically unify them all. Zerdo and him should have those two fights, and then they should have the two unified champions.
Well,
I mean, obviously they were assuming the Zerdo and Opataya was
there's
going
only
to
three fighters with belts, so.
Zerdo got two now?
Yeah, because he got Chris Billum-Smith's.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, go on. Carry on and I'll check what the rankings
I think
are.
Rozicki, he could land a fight against Jai Opataya middle of next year. Or Zerdo gets to fight him. Or Chris Billum-Smith could fight him if he didn't want to jump straight in with the likes of Jai Opataya and Zerdo. Thing is that that's going to be on the Saudi card. That.
Oh, I think, yeah, the point was, that whoever wins this one fights with Opataya, and then him and Zerdo can have like a mandatory defense, and then they can have the...
Zerdo don't need a mandatory defense, he just wait.
Yeah. I think theirs was just that they can fight the other guy who's in contention, and then they can have the unification match. So it's two unified champions.
No, so it'd be good.
I mean, obviously assuming that they win, and you never know.
Yeah, still a lot to do in that division before we get an undisputed, if they're trying to make an undisputed. So don't think it...
Well, I think it's hotted up a little bit, isn't it?
It's
There's
hotted up, but I don't think you'll see
fighters now, isn't it?
You're not going to see an undisputed till the end of next year. We'll begin in 26.
Well, I think it was Opataya had his fight against Sin Cara, which was the 7th or 8th of December, if I remember correctly. That's been delayed now. Although I think that was that's a mandatory IBF, if I remember correctly.
Well
They're
done.
usually the ones who enforce fights.
Yeah, well done.
So I think that's delayed. So I don't know if it's going to be rescheduled or they'll look at other things. Who else is there in this division? Billum-Smith's obviously had his loss,
There's no
but
one
still
else
a
in
good
the
fight.
division. You've got them three, and that's it.
If Mikhailian's out, then really, yeah,
It's them three.
it's Zerdo,
That's
Opataya, and Rozicki now, isn't it? As he's gone up.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
WBC was him. Well, it was Badu Jack who was the one, I think, from the first fight, but then he's out the picture.
Yeah, because Badu Jack's about
And Mikhailian is
80.
out the picture. Yeah. I think they just made him as filler for the first.
The only you've got them three, and that's it in the cruiserweight division. Unless someone's, after them.
Well, it
three.
depends what they do with the WBC belt. In it, they may make him fight to get it if they don't do the thing. But assuming that he gets through that and then he's a champion, then there's only them three. Zerdo's got 2 belts, the WBO and WBA. IBF is with Opataya, and we're assuming Rozicki will have the WBC. So yeah, I think realistically, looking at the list, fighters,
There's no one.
There's
It's just
not
them
really
three.
anybody. There's nobody who pops out and go, yeah.
You forget. You might as well forget about it because it's them three now.
It was basically them and Billum-Smith, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
and
They were the 4.
we'll see what happens. Like I say, I think middle of next year you might see another unified contest. Maybe Rozicki, Opataya, or Zerdo Rozicki.
Well, Zerdo and Opataya are in the sort of Riyadh season mix.
But it's not going to take much for Rozicki to get in it, is it?
No. Well, it's obvious to put him in. He fights either of them and then an undisputed
So what they might
fight.
do with him, though?
And the Saudis do like their undisputed fights.
No, what
So
they
do
might do with him is give him... They could give him a Chris Billum-Smith
we. Yeah.
and say, maybe in the UK.
Well, it'd be huge. He'll get a huge fight, isn't it? So
Yeah, but what I mean is
big following in the UK.
Rozicki's not a name.
No.
It might be in Canada. Worldwide, he's not a name. Look, we can't even find this fight on the internet.
No, we've tried. Believe me.
So maybe the Saudis, if the Saudis put on Rozicki versus Opataya, everyone's going to go, who's that? They are. Unless you're a boxing purist. So I think maybe Rozicki fights someone like a Chris Billum-Smith or a Badu Jack to give him a bit more exposure.
Yeah.
and then you can put him in on a bigger headline bill.
Well, I think he needs to fight somewhere else, isn't it? So in the States, over here, or somewhere on a Saudi undercard, and then you've got a bit of name, as they've done with other fighters. And then, because Opatine and Zerdo now have the name. I think they did have a bit before, but obviously they've been on bigger cards and bigger things. So, yeah, you need to do.
So, yeah.
Be an interesting fight.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's interesting cruiserweight division now. From being boring, it's gone quite... well, between them three, there's quite good fights. And then, there might be, like, Billum Smith still in the mix. Okay, that one was... I don't think there's anything more to say on that.
No.
But I was hoping that if the Opataya fight was there, then we would have had some more to talk about. Let me see. We go to the next one. So, what did we have under predictions, by the way?
For that?
I think it was points for Rozicki, wasn't it?
No, I think I went for Peralta.
Did you go for Peralta?
Yeah.
Well, the first one did say, like most people think Peralta won, isn't it? But come on, you must have written it down.
I don't think I did.
I don't think that was one where we made you made your epic prediction of precise prediction.
I don't think I even wrote it down, that's all.
You weren't caring.
I care, but it was just like... Yeah, I don't think I did.
Okay, let's check our
No,
prediction.
I didn't.
I'm sure I had Rozicki by points.
Anyway.
It was a draw anyway. I don't think we had a draw.
So, no, we didn't have a draw.
The official results are draw, although, like I said, most people think it's Ryan Rozicki winning. So hopefully we'll see him in the mix at cruiserweight. Next fight was an interesting one as well. Liam Paro and Hitchins, Richardson Hitchins. The result was a split decision in favour of Hitchins.
Which is what I said. I got it right.
Yes.
You got it wrong.
Yes.
Bow to my superiority.
I am bowing to your superior boxing knowledge.
I said I had a feeling it was going to be a boring fight. It wasn't so much a boring fight, but it kind of went how I thought it would go, to be honest.
Well, I think we had a comment said if it's a boring fight, it's going to go in Hitchins' favour.
Yeah.
And it did. Paro started stronger, and I think he had them for the first few rounds, but then Hitchins
Just kept him on the
came
end
into
of
it.
the jab.
He just did his boxing skills.
Yeah, just kept him
He
on
had
the
that
end
little
of
bit
the
of
jab.
he had the advantage in reach and just kept him away with the jab and just enough punches. And he seemed to get better as the fight went along.
Yeah.
And then just got sneaked most of the rounds with a more accurate work,
Thing is,
more precise.
He's a great boxer. He's not an exciting boxer.
He's more a purist than
and we're seeing a few of these type boxers now that are purists and not. I say not exciting's maybe the wrong word, but they're not going to go in there and have a tear up straight away.
Yeah.
Boxing is a science at the end of the day.
Well,
as
I think
people
it's
say.
like you said, Hitchins is one of those. He'll go through the gears depending on what the level of opponent. Because he sort of did here. It was like Paro was on top, and then he's just sort of gone through them a bit and pulled away. And then Paro adjusted, but still, it wasn't enough. He just had that little bit more sort of boxing IQ and a little bit is snappier to the punch, and he had that little reach advantage, which gave him the.
Just another Aussie.
Just a bit better boxer.
Another Aussie beat.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna. I don't think there's a world champion now, is there? Proper Aussie.
I don't think so. Don't think there ever will be. Jokes. Paro could have a good fight though against Kambosos in Australia.
Yeah,
I'd like to see that fight.
Well, I think that was the one where that was the plan on this. He gets through this, and then it's a huge fight for Kambosos Paro. I still think that'd be a fight I'd want to watch.
I'd watch that fight. That's a great fight.
Yeah.
Paro Kambosos, that's a great fight, and especially in Australia. If we do it in Australia,
Yeah, it'll be huge. It's a big, huge payday for both of them. So
I think a lot of Brits will want to watch that as well.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of boxing fans, it's the good fight.
It's a really good fight.
I mean, but this wasn't that far apart. in the things. It's just like Hitchins was just that bit more clinical in his boxing. Paro was still, it wasn't like a complete one-way traffic.
No, I don't think Paro was ever in trouble,
No.
let's say.
He just didn't have enough to outbox Hitchins, who was,
And Hitchinson moves on. You know, is he going to keep hold of the title, or is he going to lose it in his next fight? We'll wait and see. Depends who it's against.
Well, it's super lightweight in it, so should we have a look at who's in super
Jack
light?
Catterall. That's an easy fight to
that's
make.
the one they're saying, isn't it?
But oh my God, that was going to be one boring fight. Jesus.
There's Tio, Haney, Catterall, Ramirez, Subrio Matias is still in the mix, although...
Is Barbosa? Not Barbosa.
Wasn't it Barbosa who beat Ramirez?
What?
Arnold Barbosa Jr., didn't he? He's one of the fights we did.
Will they talk about him fighting Catterall?
Yeah, he was quite good.
So
Well, I think Catterall's in the name mix now, isn't it, for any of them, because he's got...
Yeah, Barbosa Catterall will be a good fight. Hitchinson's... I don't know where he goes.
He's in the mix.
It's a good fight. You know what would be a good fight for him? It'd be a good technical fight. It's Devin Haney.
Yeah.
But Devin Haney seems to have gone a bit like
off the reservation.
Ryan Garcia was before the fight. He's gone a bit mad.
They seem to have sort of switched positions.
So we need to get back in the ring and pretty quick because...
Well, Tio, they're saying, is going to be with Ennis.
Tio, I think, will move up.
I think that's what the... Because Ennis is sort of stuck. There's no real big fights in his. The 154 he's declined for the moment because he wants to get there. So there seems to be a lot of talk about Tio and him having a dust-up. So I think he's probably looking that way rather than anybody in the division. Haney's gone off the reservation for the moment, so I don't know what he's doing. Ramirez was in the ranks, but I think, it's Barbosa's... hasn't Barbosa beat him, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be Barbosa.
And it was a good performance.
That they're trying to make next.
And then the WBC is vacant, but there's Alberto Puello, isn't it? And Sander Martin are in the mix for that one. And then there's Jose Valenzuela is the WBA.
Paro can go back to Australia and fight Cambosis. You wouldn't count out Matisse, though, would you? Either.
Well, he won again, didn't he? Afterwards, it's only that against Paro who just frustrated him. So he can beat anybody on his day because if he catches you,
we say it's not the best. It is quite a good division now. You just need to make the fights now. So
well, there's enough of them in it if they stay, and you've got the boxers in Haney, Paro, right, he's out the way now. Hitchins, Catterall. I'd say Barbosa's a bit of both, and then you got the punchers in like Matisse and Lopez, who can sort of. Lopez probably can box a bit more than that, Matisse. So you've got an interesting mix, and I say Barbosa's probably the balance between the two.
That's why I think him and Catterall will be a good fight.
Yeah.
Like you say, the problem with Jack Catterall...
I think any of them with Jack Catterall.
Jack Catterall's last fight against Prograde, apart from the first 4 rounds, which were just, wow. It was a good fight. You've got to match Catterall well, because otherwise it is going to be a boring
But I think you need to put
fight.
Catterall against one of the others where he can neutralise them.
Yeah.
So I think, like him and Haney, I think even though I think that'd be a good fight. But like you said, he's off the reservation. So there's talk of these being made, and they need to settle a few of these things.
Yeah. Talk is cheap.
Yeah. So there's a few of them in the mix that they need to.
I made up for Hitchins that he's won that fight. To be fair, no, I am. I made up. He could be exceptional in that division. He really could.
There's an opportunity for somebody to really step up because there's enough good boxers and good names that they can make a good.
Just don't know whether he's got the.
There's a lot of good fights to be made.
We'll see. It's
whether he can go through the gears.
I will save my judgment for another day.
It's it's like you said. I think it's whether he can go through the gears against better opposition, because you're going to get better and better opposition. Can you get? And then there's a few there who can, there's different types. So can he cope with all of them? The boxer, the punchers, and the ones who are a bit of a mix of both. And there's other good technical boxers. So it's not just a one-way thing. Okay, so we've done that one. And then there was a rather tasty fight between Navarette and Oscar Valdez. Emmanuel Navarette and Oscar Valdez. Let me just bring that one up. Yeah, what did you think of this one? Well, shall I give the result first? So it was a KO win for Navarette.
Round number
6.
Oh, so close. I picked round 7.
What did I say?
You said points.
Oh, did I say points?
Well, I put Nav hits the canvas early and then Nav catches him in round 7.
Okay, not too far.
Um,
Well, Nav was never really in danger. It was sort of close, and then Navarette just outboxed him.
From the first fight, I think Nav's just took it to a new level.
Well, I think he had his number. I think he's worked them out.
Took it to a new level and
basically
destroyed him, didn't he? Really?
He just went through him. His combos just like boo, like he'd have a rest and and he'd hit him with them, most of them. It is.
So now
and Valdez made it a good contest, but I think it was.
Yeah, he's
just
brave.
Sort of
he's very, very brave, isn't he? But Navarette's just on a. He's just that step above, isn't he?
Yeah, I think the first fight was close, and here he showed that. Yeah, he is that little bit. More.
Yeah,
he's a damn good boxer. So good result. That's junior lightweight, isn't it? So what are we looking at there? Who's in the rankings there? I think we've done that one before. Super featherweight. Yeah, there's a Shaki Foster, isn't it? And Kakache and Co in this one, isn't it? So
yeah, I can't see Kakache beating him. But I don't know who number 1 is in that division. You'd say it was Oshaki, but...
Well, I think the 1 and 2 is between Navarette and Oshaki, isn't it? Well, like rings is the champions are vacant, but it's number 1 is Navarette and number 2 is Shaki.
Yeah.
I think Navarette just because he's had a bit more, but he's gone around weights, isn't he? So it's like a bit harder, would I think. And then Lamont Roach is the WBA champion.
They say this,
but he's stepping up, isn't he? Lamont Roach is in the going for tank. So if he's going out the weight, then I think it's really between those two. I don't think Kakache's as good as that. Valdez was the other one in the mix. And,
Hasn't Kakache got a fight planned?
But we do go against Kakache, and then he sort of pulls it out.
He always does, to be fair.
But yeah, Navarette did look good. And then
he did, to be fair. He looked really good, Navarette. I was impressed. I was impressed by him. And it, like I say, nearly went how I said it was going to go. But yeah, I just think he had Valdez's number. And
I think he did from the first fight. It took him a little bit to warm up, but then he's just gone. He hasn't rushed, he's just gone through. And then there was a good fight on that undercard. Espinoza Ramirez in the featherweight fight, which was another, I think it was a 6-round KO as well, TKO. What am I saying? Featherweight, isn't it? He looks like quite a tasty boxer in that division. Where do we go in featherweight?
Maybe fight Navarette next. Moves up.
Well, no, I think they're going to keep him there, isn't it? I think for a bit. But that's a hot division, isn't it? You've got the... well, he's a WBO champion now, isn't he? I think. But yeah, there's a few in that division. Nick Ball, one of our guys, Vargas.
Yeah, he's fighting in February, March. It was announced the other day, Nick Ball. I was watching the press conference in Liverpool again. So,
who's he got in there?
I've forgotten.
Because there's talk of Figueroa and Fulton, isn't it?
It's not.
It's not huge.
No.
I
was expecting. I think they're keeping him busy until they make a massive fight. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You don't know whether they've made the big fights. But it's another fight in Liverpool. Get the fans out to.
Well, you got to keep busy, keep active, isn't it? And then it keeps you sharp. So, but there are some names in there. Like I said, I think there's talk of Figueroa and Fulton is going to be happening early in the new year.
I've heard that.
But yeah, I'm only mentioning Espinoza because he's hot in the division.
Yeah.
And then I think he was lower down ranked, and then he's he's like 5th now by ring, and he's in that contention, and he did look good.
Yeah.
So we've got that right. Then I think that brings us to the fights this weekend.
It's been a busy 2 weeks.
It's been quite well. There's quite a lot of fights we haven't done, innit?
Oh God!
Charles Conwell won on the. He was on the card of Roger and Curiel, so he got a KO in 7 rounds. He's in the 154-pound category as well. And the welterweight one, Roger Curiel, was a draw. But yeah, let's go to Jonas won as well. Unanimous decision.
Yeah, she's going to fight Lauren Price, I think, for the unified or undisputed in the women's boxing. So that'll be a good fight.
Right, bringing us to this weekend, then MJ Akhmadaliev and Espinoza.
Oh,
Rafael? Ricardo Espinoza, isn't it? Not Rafael. Rafael's the other one.
I was impressed with Akhmadaliev.
Yeah, what did we have going?
I had Espinoza to beat him. You had the Akhmadaliev by the 7th.
Yeah, it was a bit well, to be fair, the first round, Espinoza started like on the front foot, and Akhmadaliev looked like he'd been out the ring for about a year. Espinoza looked more busy. About halfway through the round, I think, though, Akhmadaliev started to measure him.
No, Akhmadaliev was just, like I say...
He looked a bit ring rusty, but then he started to measure.
Ring rusty, it's hard to get your timing. And
Espinoza was pretty aggressive.
As soon as he got his timing, that was it.
Yeah. He's accurate, really accurate with his combinations.
As Eddie Hearn said, Uzbek power, baby. Uzbek power.
And then he called out our man in a way, as he has been doing for all the things.
Well, let's address this. Inoue has refused to fight him twice. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe not Inoue or Inoue's people. He's been ordered twice by the WBA to fight him. The first one, he paid the WBA not to fight him. The second one is a bit confusing how we got round it. I wasn't fully... I'd heard conversations, but you don't believe him. But after I've read it all properly, you've got to say, the way it reads... In a way, he's ducking him.
Well, I'm going to go the other way right now. So, as he's come up to the division, the plan was to fight Fulton and then to fight Akhmadaliev. A certain Mr. Marlon Tapalis put a fly in the ointment by beating Akhmadaliev. Although close points fight, and I don't think there's loads of contention. It does seem to be that Tapalis was the winner. I think that's what's put the fly in the ointment. It was supposed to be he fights one unified champion, then he fights the other unified champion.
If you get ordered to fight, and then you've paid...
Well, the thing is, I think they already had, if you go past Tapalis... Well, Tapalis was he was undisputed champion, so he's not going to fight Akhmadaliev if Tapalis beat him. Neri was on their list of the radar anyway because of, obviously, his situation with other... So, shall we say, his shenanigans with other Japanese fighters. So Neri was always going to be there. I think Dehaney was the one that was funny, but I think they've given Dehaney that fight as a payday because he's sort of lost and he's made his name. And then Goodman is because they have I think he's been called out and thingy. So I think after that, if he ducks, I'm not sure he's ducked. I think it's just the way they'd already had fights planned.
Because he's refused to fight him.
He's got no belts. Why would he want to fight him?
Because he's been ordered to fight him.
I don't care about those things.
If you ordered and then you pay the guy off not to fight him, you're saying you're not ducking him.
No, I don't think he is.
So why are you paying him off then?
No, you got to pay because you're upsetting the other guy's apple cart, innit? He's got money he can pay. No, I think after Goodman, then if he's going to stay at that weight, then he didn't
have to fight Goodman. He could have fought Akhmadaliev.
He's more money in Goodman.
There isn't. There really, really isn't.
He's going to fill out. They like the Australians.
Really, really, really isn't more money.
I think Goodman, he just wants to shut up.
I guarantee you now, and I agree with Eddie Hearn, Muguia will never fight him.
Well, it depends if he goes up in weight.
Muguia's never going to fight him.
And if he goes up in weight, then Akhmadaliev gets his chance. He can get the belt and stuff.
I love Muguia.
Or he can chase him and go after him.
Love Muguia. He's the monster. I'm not a massive fan of Akhmadaliev. Muguia's ducking him.
Yeah, okay. Simon says
I'm telling
Muguia's ducking.
And I can see why. I can see why he doesn't want to fight him.
Yeah, but do you think he's any better than they said Fulton was the best in the division. He slapped him around like nothing. He was supposed to fight Akhmadaliev second if Akhmadaliev had managed to beat Tapalis, but Tapalis beat him. Yeah, Tapalis was a tough fight. I think Tapalis was probably in a way his toughest fight at this weight up to now. And you can see how Tapalis is hard, but he still put him out. And Neri, like I said, there was already a thing for fighting Neri because he was on the list of the radar to get rid of. That's like Japanese pride. Dehaney's the one I don't really get why he's fought.
The Goodman the one I don't get either.
I
don't know why he's fighting Goodman. Tell you, they're going to put some massive offers in now for Akhmadaliev in a way.
Yeah. I think it has to happen, isn't it? Really? If he's staying at the weight, it has to happen. Oh, just give me my rankings.
It'll be a very, very interesting fight. But, like I say, I've never been a massive fan of Akhmadaliev, but he really did impress me, especially considering he's been out the ring for 12 months.
But then when he took me by Tapalis, it's sort of dampened to the spirit because he was one that's like the big name.
But then we seem to forget, he's as a professional, he's only had, 10 fights, 11 fights?
13 or 14 now. No, but he's a unit. He's powerful. He's only lost on points to Tapalis, and Tapalis is like
good.
You could see how good he was against anyway.
Great chin, really good chin. He's got really good power as well.
It's the snap and the accuracy. It's like boom, 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 accuracy punches.
Because I was watching more of his highlights this morning, and when he catches you, he does not let you off the hook.
He knows how to finish, but he didn't rush it against Espinoza. He was pretty good on the. Like you said, he looked a bit ring rusty, and then he's just sort of gone into it, and then it's just like he's still careful on the defense, but boom, 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 when he needs a hit, and he has got some power.
He's called out in a way now, so
he's called out in a way all the time. Yeah, the next obvious fight in that division, like I said, if Inoue stays in the division,
which he won't because he's scared of him.
Well, have you seen the monsters in the division above? We just talked about some of them, Nick Paul and Vargas and Leo. The other Espinoza, Figueroa, Fulton's gone up the division as well. So, yeah, because he's beaten basically everybody else in the top ranking. The Tapalis is number 1 ranked. He's beaten him. Akhmadaliev is number 2 ranked by Ring. Goodman is number 3. So he's fighting him. Neri is number 4. He's beaten him. All right. Davis is 5, but, I don't think that's going to happen. Picasso is the other one they're suggesting. He had a good win on the undercard of these fights as well.
No, the only fight at that division
is beaten, and then McCann was the one we were saying. But
look, like you say, I have changed my tune with Akhmadaliev.
No, I think it's the fight that everyone wants to see. That's the obvious fight in that division. I think it's the only one they consider who can give Inoue a chance.
I didn't think he deserved a shot at Inoue, I'll be honest. But after I've read what I've read,
shouldn't believe everything you read.
But it's common fact.
He has avoided the fight with him a couple of times, to be fair.
And you can't... He really has.
I wouldn't say he's ducked. I think he's avoided because there's nothing to be gained from him.
I'm not saying it in a way. the likelihood is it is people.
Well, I think they already had the
Mr.
plan.
Honda, is it?
Well, no, but I think they already had the plan of flighting Neri because of the situation. Like I said, the one for me is a bit strange is Dehaney, but he's well liked in Japan and they get an audience because he'd beaten 2 or 3 Japanese fighters.
Doesn't matter who in a way fights in Japan.
He's going to get the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they're rewarding the other person, isn't it? So there was like a last hurrah for Dehaney. The 2 fighters that are probably anybody is that Picasso and Akhmadaliev is the top of that list that he would want to fight in that division. I think everybody else he's either already beaten them or there's nobody left.
Uzbek power beats Japanese power.
We'll find out. I doubt
it. We will never, ever find out.
I doubt it. But
I'm jumping on an Eddie Hearn bandwagon. I'm going to be like an Eddie Hearn fanboy right now. I'll bet my house on it.
Eddie Hearn's record ain't great. This is probably going to be in Riyadh season. And his record in Riyadh season is not that great.
Eddie Hearn's convinced that Akhmadaliev beats him?
No, I don't think so.
Styles make fights, baby.
Well, if I was going to give anybody a chance, it's somebody with power, because we've said within a way, you ain't going to outbox them. So none of them are that level of they can outbox them or out-QQ them. The only chance you've got is the power, one punch. If you got a punch and you can do it, like Neri caught him, if you catch him and then you can rock him a bit more, that's your chance. I think if you're going to try and box him, he's too good. And I don't think Akhmadaliev is that good a boxer to outbox him.
How many boxes of tissues would I need to get you if Akhmadaliev knocked him out?
Oh, we're not making a podcast. we'll be off the line for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
No, I could see him doing it. If Neri catches him. But in pure boxing tail, I think in a way still...
You do know,
a fair bit
literally
ahead.
Every podcast we do now.
We're going to mention it.
I'm just going to say, in a way, ducked him.
But we'll see how he does against Goodman. You shouldn't overlook opponents.
Just going to whisper that every podcast. In a way, ducked him.
Well, he's got to fight Goodman first. Then we'll have it on there.
Oh, mate, he's going to spank Goodman, let's be honest. But we'll do that podcast, but he is going to spank him. As for Akhmadaliev, keep busy, get back in the ring. Go and fight someone else. It was a good card in Monaco last night. It seemed like a really nice place to go. Obviously, it is for the super uber rich.
Yeah.
I think they only do it once a year in Monaco, don't they? And it looked really good.
Oh, Monaco's quite nice.
I wouldn't know. But yeah, I get Akhmadaliev back out in...
I think he needs to keep busier.
March,
I would say
April,
that. I think he needs to keep busier because even though he's got a fight, he probably needs to have a fight. Although if he's had one now and Inoue gets... If Inoue was having it now, then they'd be fine. But because that's been pushed back...
they might
January,
wait.
I think it's either worth waiting and then... But it's who does he fight out of the other lot?
In the meantime. Anyone, just get back in the ring. Stay active, stay busy. Don't take 12 months out, keep going.
Because if Inoue stays, there's 2 people. There's the Picasso camp and his camp will be making it. So it's whether which one.
Just forget about Picasso. It's Akhmadaliev or...
Picasso's unbeaten.
Oh,
only had one draw. Akhmadaliev's lost to the number 1 guy, to Palace.
How many fighters he had?
Who? 14. So 13 wins and 1 loss.
Have you heard about this Super League they're doing?
In His Excellency's come up.
Yeah.
But it's for up and coming.
Yeah, so
it's a good idea.
If you're 10 and under...
I think it's a certain age and a certain...
Yeah.
I mean, we'll do a video on it when we know
it's
a
like
bit
128 more. Fighters or something. Sounds mad.
Yeah, but it's a good... If it's really what they're saying it is, it's for up-and-coming fighters to get a name.
Yeah.
Because obviously we don't... we watch a lot of boxing. We don't know all of them. When you
I
watch
might
some of
enter
these...
it.
Yeah?
Oh, no, I'm too old, aren't I?
You're too old. It's
All
up-and-coming fighters, Simon.
Not retired
They'll do their retired has-beens and we can be in that one.
Retired amateur journeyman for 10-year-olds to knock out. Did I ever tell you I went back to the boxing gym last year?
Sorry?
I went back to the boxing gym last year. I thought, do you know what? I'm
going to give it a go.
I swear to God, this 12-year-old absolutely boxed me head off. And I was like, see you later, I'm off. No, I like I say, I've never been a massive fan of Akhmadaliev. He still has a bit to prove to me, but...
No, I mean, I'm being facetious, but yeah, the obvious fight is in a way Akhmadaliev in that division.
He did impress me.
I'm just trying to,
Yeah. He has impressed me.
devil's advocate. But yeah, I think he deserves it of the other ones in that division. That's the only one left really in a way to stamp out and go, yeah, I am the man. And I think if anybody's got a chance, he has, because one, he's robust enough, and two, he packs the punch. And I think that's your only chance. Like I said, I don't think any of them outbox him in a way. So the only chance you've got is power and being able to take his power, because you're going to get hit. And he's not been stopped. Definitely not professionally been stopped and stuff. So it's
we'll see.
But then there was lots of others who have never been stopped, and then they ran into the monster. The two monsters in that division are them too. So it'll be an interesting.
Yeah.
It'll be an interesting matchup. But let's, he's got to do Goodman first. And Akhmadaliev's done his job, so yeah, he's set it up for that. And that's, have we got anybody left? Just let me see. Oh, yeah.
The shock
fight of the thing. So,
the shock. The horror.
Jaime Munguia and Bruno Surace.
The disgust.
This was a punch from nowhere.
Was
the
it,
guy's
though?
had like 4 knockouts in his how many fights? Let me just get how many fights he's had. 27 fights. I think he's had. Yeah, it's 25 wins and 2 draws. Well, that's including this, I think. I think he had like 4 knockouts before this, stoppages.
Has Jaime gone me? Let's be honest.
Well, up to that point too, I had Munguia winning. He'd obviously put him down already in the second round.
Yeah, and I thought, here we go. But
his defence is a little bit loose.
No, what happened? I'll tell you exactly what happened.
Go on.
First couple of rounds, Munguia was punching with him.
Yeah.
Just as a commentator said. And then after that, it was like, right, your turn to hit, my turn to hit, your turn to hit, my turn to hit. And it was a stupid tactic. And I'm just wondering whether we talk about complacency.
I think they may have overlooked him a little bit.
I don't know whether it's overlooked him or he's just been...
Or they just didn't know enough about him. Like we didn't either.
Mate, but
I think we both had Munguia to win.
I don't mean this. How embarrassing. Hometown. Oh, I'm going to put a
hometown
fight
fight. I think that's his first hometown fight for a bit, isn't it? So, and his one punch clean out.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a brilliant punch, but like his hand was low, so
great counter
Surace
punch.
just counter punched him. Like,
You've got to have a rematch, haven't you?
Yeah.
Although I loved one of the comments straight away. Canelo's next fight. Surace.
Yeah.
Munguia, do you think the Munguia is for super middleweight? Because don't forget he has moved up in weight.
Yeah. Well, he looks decent in the size, and normally he's robust. I think that punch caught him flush perfect, and it was like a textbook punch. How you should put a right hand punch. If you're an orthodox boxer, how you put a right hand in.
He's going to put a spanner in his next move.
I think you've got to have a rematch and he's got to beat him.
Is this his bogeyman?
It might be.
Everyone has a bogeyman.
Well, the problem is how he takes it. Because obviously losing against Canelo, it's Canelo, so it's not a stain on your thing. But like this is, because this is a guy who's never fought outside of France, and he's come out to get a payday in the other guy's hometown, and then he's pulled off.
French.
But he was good off the, because whenever Munguia tried to cut them off, like you see Canelo normally cuts people off the ropes, even though he's getting thing, he was blocking quite a lot of the punches, and then he'd bang, bang, bang off them, and then get out.
You've got to watch them.
And
French,
he did it
mate.
a few times.
You've got to watch him. The good boxers.
He was quite good boxing.
We got it completely wrong. I mean, I know we did.
I think everybody did, though.
I think we did a podcast on it and went,
why are we having this fight?
Yeah, and it just shows you've got to pay attention to these fellas. All right, yeah, we might not have heard of him, but we completely, it's just a tick over fight, blah blah blah. We done the guy wrong. Well done to the guy.
Yeah, it was a good performance.
Well
he
done,
stuck
mate.
to his game plan and he's pulled it off.
Shocks happen. Excellent. Your next fight, you're going to get a massive payday because he controls it now. He controls it, doesn't he? If they want a rematch, right? I want
Let's see
this
who
much.
they are in their rankings.
He's not going to be. Don't think he's in the top 50, is he?
No, he is. He's unbeaten. He is a bit higher up than super middle in there. Because Munguia is number 1 in ring, or was
not anymore.
And then the one we said was like Billy and Co, isn't it? And the other man.
Oh, because Billy's French, isn't he?
Well, French Canadian, yeah. So there's a
all French encounter. Boom. Don't even like Munguia anymore. Hate him. No, it was weird.
Well, I think the obvious thing is a rematch because he's got to get that back. But if he loses twice, then it's basically like.
Thing is like I say, that he controls this now. His next fight to Mega Payday, great. I love stories like that. Love them. Absolutely.
Well, there's a load
fantastic.
of fighters in that division below Canelo that you can get. And Billy, Iglesias, Pacheco. You got Caleb Plant. You have Skull, Shishkin, Balanga, Bazinian, and Martinez.
I mean, he doesn't even need to take the rematch, does he? He could say no.
And then there's a few more even under that aren't on the ring list, isn't it? You could go under. There's a lot of fighters there now. That is because like Munguia was the highest rated, isn't he, out of them? So, and we've said that as well. Other than so he's in the mix now.
This guy's the life has changed in them.
Do you think he was that good though? Or is it complacency or bad on? I think it's a bit of both. I think he was good. In his hand speed was good because he was hitting them even before. And
I think he had a game plan.
Yeah.
He stuck to it and it paid off.
Yeah.
And I don't think he was a bad fighter at all. I tell you what, we'll never ever forget him though, will we?
No, we know who he is now. He's on our list.
And you'll be looking out for him for his next fight.
Well, we'll be looking out for what he does next because that's the measure really. Because I think this was a shock for everybody, including Munguia.
Maybe they didn't think it was a shock. Maybe they actually thought.
They may have read him and said, "Yeah, we've got a game plan to beat this guy." Yeah. But it's a good comeback as well. He got knocked down in the second round and he's come back.
Yeah.
There was another one, but it was a slip really. But he did get caught on that as well.
So good on him. I'm made up.
And it did look like he was going to firefight him and then they'd be even out. But yeah.
Love stories like that.
You got to be shocked, isn't it? And that's like somebody come out
like
of
say,
nowhere.
gutted for Jaime Munguia because like we are big fans of Jaime, but maybe you were complacent. Maybe.
Well, he looked like he was going about his work well, but there was a bit of, like you said, where he was boxing sort of with him, and then they went into the I'll have a go, you have a go, I have a go. Instead of when he was in the lead, he should be putting on the pressure. You would have expected like a Canelo type where you just walked him down. Yeah, he was walking him down, but not. Surace was quite good at moving. I mean, it's Surace or Surace, whatever. I hope I pronounced correct.
Surace done something that Canelo couldn't.
Yeah, knocked him out. Clean as sponge. Yeah, he's got caught with a clean punch.
That's the story.
Yeah.
Hey, he can live with that for the rest
of his
life.
Next. It's got to be Canelo next now, I think.
Look, I did something. I did something that Canelo couldn't do.
Yeah.
Boom. Love that. Love a story like that. It's great. Love upsets.
I mean, it would be great for him. What a payday you're going to get in a fight against, the one of the faces, if not the face of boxing.
His next fight, he is going to get a good payday and great. You deserve
good for him,
mate.
isn't it? You pulled off a shock result that none of us knew.
Probably good. Great, well done.
Yeah, so I think both of them were good. Both of them, but I mean, Akhmadaliev's gone into the list for.
Yeah.
Because Espinoza, I don't think he's ever been. I think he's been stopped when it was like the 12th round, not in like a early like that. And Munguia hasn't been stopped before, so two. And then
just
interesting
quickly.
Results.
Nishida beat Donza by knockout. I watched another fight. Maxi Hughes. I thought Maxi Hughes was going to retire after the Cambosis fight.
Yeah.
But he put in a really good performance. So we could get a big fight next. Did you watch the new heavyweight? Terra Moana?
No.
Watch out for this boy. What a name. Terra Moana. Does like his version of the hacker, before the fight and stuff, or after the fight. Tall, explosive, picks his punches well. Up and coming heavyweight. Check him out. He could be one for the future.
Fighting out of New Zealand, is he? Well, fighting out somewhere else probably.
I've forgotten where he's from. It was just it was on the Monaco bill. I was just watching.
Akhmadaliev's fight.
Yeah, he was on the undercard.
That's fine.
Really, to have a look at him. He could be the next big thing. He might not be.
It's not coming up on my thing.
Yeah.
Got Cully Hughes and then it's Clark and Mosqueda.
Australian boxer.
So there is one coming up. Oh, they need one, don't they?
Yeah, Terra Moana. 26 years old. 6'6", big guy. He's had 7 bouts, 7 knockouts now. Obviously,
Terra Moana Jr. 6'6", yeah.
Look out for him.
Terra Moana Jr. Terra Moana.
What a name as well.
That is
Terra Moana.
TJT.
Terra Moana is the greatest name in boxing.
Okay, from Campbelltown, yes, of Brisbane.
Yeah, just look out for him, mate, honestly.
5 fights, 5 KOs.
Yeah. Obviously, he's got a long, long way to go, but from what I've seen, I'm quite impressed. And, Aussies, they're nuts. So, yeah, I enjoyed watching him.
One to watch then, innit? Terra Moana Jr. Terra Moana. And on that note,
there we go.
Should we sign off? I think that's all the catch-up we've got of it. Oh, yeah, well, there's just the cancellation. So there's Inaway's moved from the 24th of December to 24th of January. We'll be doing a video on that.
Inaway hasn't picked up, Sam Goodman picked up a little cut, needed 4 stitches.
So they're allowing a month's break for that. It's his warm-up for Akhmadaliev, as Simon says. Then there's
Madrimov
and Bochuk. Madrimov, he has got bronchitis, so on the end has got a bronchitis. The doctors have checked.
Okay, you're not saying nothing.
So we've been told.
Isaac Lowe jumps in.
Well, Ishmael Davis.
Ishmael Davis.
Bochuk, Ishmael Davis now. And then there's McCann and McGrail. McCann has been a naughty boy, I think. Is it McCann?
Hey.
Or McGrail. One of them has.
Innocent until proven guilty. Come on.
We will give him the benefit of the doubt.
He's had an adverse finding in his VADA test.
So we don't know if there's going to be another opponent or if it's going to be cancelled. It's up in the air.
It's a shame because we're really looking forward to that fight.
Well, I think both of those would have been Bochuk and Madrimov and McCann and McGrail.
You've got to wait for this. Obviously,
what's your review?
Knows
both of those
about the processes of when you fail a test. So blah blah blah.
But I think it's because the short time and there's not enough to go through the second bits, so they're not allowing them to fight. Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
And that's the right thing to do. If you have an adverse finding, you shouldn't be allowed to fight. So that's the correct call. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there it's a shame for McGrail. So Ishmael Davis is standing in for Madrimov for this fight. And then the other one, Opataya and Sin Cara. I think I don't know if that's been delayed or cancelled, but I think there's some sort of thing there as well where it's not happening on the 8th or 7th of December January when it was. So that just brings up all the news we've got at the moment. Okay, I think we'll call it there because that's getting long. So we thank you very much for listening. Oh, by the way, we've got more than 500 subscribers now. So thank you very much for that. We want to get now to 1,000, the next target. So help us with that. And like, subscribe, let us know what you think.
And please, anyone, if you do find a link for Rozicki,
Peralta, number 2 fight.
Yeah, post it up for us because I really want to watch it.
We'll put it in our socials as well. Won't we? I think, like I said, it's going to be on the YouTube channel or one of the channels of 3 Lions Productions or whatever they're called, 3 Lions something. His like management company. That's the rumours I've heard. But I did see somewhere it's on some app, but I don't know whether that's kosher or not, but like somebody put it as a comment on something. So, but yeah, we will put it up, and if you do know, let us know in the comments, isn't it, or somewhere. Send us a thing so we can do that, and then we'll do if we can watch it in timely fashion, we'll do a review of that fight.
Yeah, a proper
review of the fight. Yeah, thank you very much. Like, subscribe, comment, and yeah, get us to 1,000, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you very much.